Welcome guys to another video with the number ninja. Now in this video we shall be solving some IGCSE past questions. Now this is on 3D trigonometry. Now I'm giving this triangular prism A, B, C, D, E, F. So with all the dimensions given. Now we are asked to calculate the distance between point A and point E. So which means we are going to join. Now join point A to point E, just like so. Now I have to join point B to point E to form the complete right angle triangle. Okay, yes, like so. Now the angle formed here is 90 because these lines are perpendicular lines, so the angle here is 90. Then so I'm seeing triangle ABE now. All right, now I'm also seeing triangle what? BFE, right? Yes. Now triangle BFE, the angle at F is 90 as well. All right, it's 90 because the base is a rectangle, of course. So now for me to find the length of AE, I need the length of BE. So I'm going to apply Pythagoras theorem. Now since BE is the longest side, so I have BE squared is equal to 14 squared plus what? 19 squared, right? Because BE is the longest side. So I have 14 squared plus what? 19 squared. Now this gives me 557. So 557. Now the value of BE is going to be the square root of 557. So let's get that square root of the answer. So I have 23.6. So 23.6 centimeters. So this is the length of BE. So which means this length here is 23.6 centimeter. Now you can say now in triangle ABE, all right, the side AE is the hypotenuse, the longest side. So I have AE squared is equal to, okay, this is Pythagoras theorem, so you have to write it, Pythagoras theorem. Now AE is the longest side, so I have AE is equal to 8 squared then plus what? 23.6 all square, right? So I have AE square is equal to, this is 64, then plus, now when you square this 23.4, okay, you should get this 557 here. Okay, now because this value here is a rounded value, right? So now the more accurate value you should use here is just 557. I hope you understand that, because this value here is a rounded value, it's rounded actually. So the more accurate value you should use is this 557. all right, that's why I'm using 557 there to get a more accurate answer. All right, so I'm going to do 64 plus 557. So I have 6 to 1. I have 6 to 1. Now the value of AE, I'm going to take the square root of both sides, right? So square root of 6 to 1 will give me what? Square root of answer. So now the answer is 24.9. So I have 24.9 centimeters. So this is the answer, and this is to 3 significant figures. Yes. Now B says calculate the angle between AE and the plane BECF. Now the plane BECF is BECF. Now that's the plane. Now the plane is the rectangle on the ground. Okay, so this is the plane. This is the plane right here. All right. So that rectangle on the floor, that's the plane. Now the angle I'm looking for is the angle between the line AE. This is my line AE right here, right? Very good. So the angle between this line AE and this floor, that's the angle I'm looking for. You can say theta. All right, so which means I'm going to pull out that triangle. So pull out triangle ABE, just like so. So this is B, this is A, and this is what? This is E, right? The angle here is 90, don't forget. This is 8. So I'm looking for my theta. Now don't forget, we got the length of BE as 23.6, right? And we just got the length of AE as what? 24.9. Now since I have all three sides, okay, I can use any trig ratio. It's going to work, anyone. So let me use sine. Okay, so I have sine theta is equal to, opposite is 8 over what? Hypotenuse, that's 24.9. So which means I'm going to have 0 point what? So divide 8 by the answer there. So I have 0.3210. Okay, 0.3210. So which means the value of theta is going to be the inverse sine, okay, of that answer, 3210. So my theta is going to be, so just press shift and sine, answer. I have 18.7. So 18.7 is the angle between this to 1 dp. All right, so that's the angle between the line AE and the plane. So that means the angle here should be 18.7, okay, degrees. Now for number 2, I have a hexagon, which is A, B, C, D, E, F. Now we are told that the line AB is parallel to line ED, as you can see. So line AB is parallel to line ED. That's why you have this mark, this arrow right here. All right, then line AF, okay, this AF is parallel to CD. That's why we have this double arrow here, right? They are parallel. Thank you. Now angle ABC is 90, which is this. CD is 140, which is this. DEF is 120, which is this. Calculate angle EFA. So angle EFA is the angle right here, right? That's the angle I'm looking for. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to draw a third line parallel to ED and AB, parallel to ED and AB. So which means I'm drawing the line from point C. So draw a straight line. Make sure the line is horizontal. All right, so now this third line is also parallel, so I'll put the arrow here too. So which means that line ED, so let's call this place point G. All right, so line ED, line GC, and line AB, those three lines are all parallel, right? Very good. Now for that reason, this angle will be 90. Yes, now it's 90 because line CB is perpendicular to line CG. That's why I have 90 here, right? Then now this angle over here is 40 degrees. Why? Now the reason is because of what we call co-interior angles. Now they are called co-interior angles. Now what are co-interior angles? Now this angle over here, this 140 is co-interior to 40. All right, so that's why I have 40 right here. Then now I'm going to extend line AB, okay, this way. Now I will extend line DC like this. You get? So this and this. Now this is the shape I have now. You can see then, which means this angle right here corresponds to this angle right here. So yes, also 40 degrees. Okay, because this 40 corresponds, these are corresponding angles. Now if that's true, then the angle over here have to be 140, right? Because of angles on a straight line, right? So I did 180 minus 40 to get this angle here, right? 140 degree. Okay, angle in straight line. Now please pay attention. Let's call this place point F. No, not point F. Let's call it point H. Point H here, right? Then now what happens here is that now you can see that now because this line DH is parallel to line FA. Alright, so the angle over here corresponds to 140. This 140 degree. Now the reason is because line DH is parallel to line what? FA. So the angle over here corresponds to the angle over here as well. Alright, so this 140 degree. Now this shape is a hexagon, right? So now let's get the sum of interior angles. Now sum of interior angles of a hexagon, so whether regular or irregular, the formula remains the same. The formula is just n minus 2 times what? 180 degree, right? So I'm going to do hexagon has 6 sides, so I have 6 minus 2 times what? 180 degree. So this is 4 times 180 degree, and I have 720 degree right there, right? Okay, so now the interior angles of my hexagon, see, I have this 120, I have 140. Now this whole angle here, from this point here to this point here, that whole angle is 130. I added this 40 plus 90, right? So now that is the whole angle from here all the way to here, right? 130. Then this angle is 90 here. This angle is 140. So I'm looking for this. So now the interior angles of that polygon. So I'm going to add 120 plus what? 140, right? Then plus 130. Because this 130 is the angle, angle all here, right? Then plus 90. Then plus that 140. So let's now, how many angles do we have here? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, a hexagon has 6 interior angles. So I have 5 of them right here. So I'm looking for the 6th one, right? 120 plus 140 plus 130 plus 90 plus 140. So what I have here is 620. So I have 620 right here. Now the 6th angle I'm looking for is basically your EFA. Yes. So my angle EFA is I'll just do 720 degree minus 620 degree. So now the answer is just 100 degrees. So that is the answer. All right. So that's how we solve this kind of problem. All right. Now for number 3, I have A, B, C, D, E are point on the circle center center O. All right. Angle ABD is 27. Okay, it's given already. You say find angle ACD. So I'm looking for ACD. So the angle over here. Now the answer is just 27. All right, and the reason is just same segment. So angle ABD and angle ACD are angles in the same segment, so they are equal, they are the same. Then now let's get AOD. Now angle AOD is going to be, so let's mark AOD. So I have AOD, that's the angle here. Okay, so now don't forget the angle at the center. Now because this is the arc, this is the arc here, right? My arc here is arc AD. Now arc AD subtend angle 27. Okay, yeah. So now the angle at the center is twice, so which means that I'm going to do 2 times 27. All right, and the answer is 54. Now that is coming from the fact that the angle at the center is double of, so which means the angle at center okay, is double the angle at circumference, right? So this is the reason behind that. Now lastly, I'm looking for angle AED. AED, that's the angle over here, right? So now in this case, I'm going to use this reflex angle right here. That's called the reflex angle. That's called reflex angle AOD. Reflex AOD. Now the value of that reflex AOD is going to be now because I have 54 right here, so angle at the point is 360. I'll do 360 minus 54, right? So and that should give me 300 what? 306, right? Yeah, 306. Okay, so that is the reflex AOD. Now the theorem I'm going to use here is that same theorem. So now this angle AED, angle AED, all right, is half of that reflex AED, all right, is half of reflex AOD, all right. So basically I'm going to do half times 306, right, degree. So this is 153, and that's the answer. So 153 is the answer, all right. Now the diagram shows two triangles. Now I have a combination of two triangles right here. So now calculate QR. So now you are going to treat them one by one. So I'm going to use triangle PQR first, okay? Now in triangle PQR, you can see that I'm giving two sides and I'm giving an included angle. This angle is included. It's included because the angle is touching both sides, right? So I'm going to use cosine rule. Because that is the condition for cosine rule. Now the value of QR, okay, is equal to, I'm going to do 150 square plus what? 120 square minus 2 times what? 150 times what? 120, then cos the included angle is 25 degree, right? So I have my QR square is equal to, now I'm going to solve 150 squared plus 120 squared together. So I'm going to have 36,900. So I have 36,900. Now minus, now I'm going to solve this one together as well. 2 times 150 times 120, then cos 25. So I'm solving those ones together. So I have 326 27.08 033. Now when I subtract those numbers, my QR squared is equal to, so I can do 36,900, okay, minus answer. So I have 4272.92, okay, 4272.92. All right, so that makes sense. Now I'm going to take square root, okay, to get the value of QR. So I have square root of 4272.92. So now this gives me just do square root of answer, okay. I have 65.4. So 65.4 meter is meter actually. So that is the value of this side. So I can put it here, 65.4 will be there. Then now the next one say find ROX. Now ROX is a side in triangle PSR. Now in triangle PSR, I'm giving I'm giving just one side and one angle, and I'm looking for the value of this side. Now, okay, oh, I'm giving two angles, sorry, two angles. Now, let's get this angle over here. So, I'm going to do 55 plus 45, right? This is 100 degree. Now, I'm going to do 180 minus 100, and that is 80, right? Because of the sum of angles in a triangle, right? This is 80 degree. Now, I'm going to apply sine rule there, okay? So, I have 150 over sine 80 because sine 150 is opposite 80 degree, right? So you do 150 over sine 80 degree. So I have 150 all over sine 80 degree is equal to what? Now I'm looking for the length of S arrow, so I'll do S arrow over sine 55. Because S arrow is, you can see S arrow is pointing or is opposite that angle, all right? So you do S arrow over the angle it is facing, all right? So which means I have okay, I have arrow X, okay, over sine 55, right? So I'm going to cross multiply this. So I have 150, you know, sine 55 degree all over what? Sine 80 degree. So my answer is going to be, let's input everything in my calculator. So we have 150 sine 55, okay, all over sine what? 80. So what I have there is 124.8. That's fine. So I have 124.8 meter. That's fine. That's the answer. Okay, now on to the next one. I have, okay, I'm giving my function. My function is y equal to x power p plus 2x power q. Now I'm giving the first derivative, which is this. All right. Now I'm asked to find the value of the letters p and q. Now what you do here is that if your function is basically x to the power of p, right, plus 2x to the power of q, all right. Now your dy over dx actually, okay, it should be what? Now this p come to the front, which is px to the power of what? P minus 1, right? Then plus this is 2q to the power of what? P minus power of q minus 1, right? Now you have to just compare, okay? Do a comparison, please. Now you are comparing this with what you are given in the question, all right? So we are giving this as the first derivative. Now if I compare, so this p is just this number, that's all. Then 2q is just this number, that's all. So just by comparing, I'm done. The value of p is just 11. So the value of 2q is just equal to 10. Now for us to get q, divide both sides by 2 again, right? So 2 cancel out q, 2. Now the value of q is just 5, which is 5. Will be here, that's all. So this is just like, you know, you have to compare and get your letters, okay? Now this is a trigonometrical graph, and it's a tangent graph, tan graph. On the diagram, sketch the graph of y equal to tan x for this range, right? Now don't forget, now for us to sketch a tan graph, you just have to, now the angle is already given to us. Now the range for IGCSE is between 0 and what? 360 degree, right? Now I'm going to find tan 0 degree, and tan 0 is 0, okay? Now I'm going to find the value of tan 90, okay, because I'm sketching, so just do all this, please. Okay, so tan 0, you can see 0, then tan 90 is math error. Now math error means it is undefined, that's infinity, that's called undefined. Then I'm going to look for tan 180 degree. Now tan 180 is 0, right? So I have my 0 here. Now I'm going to do tan 270 degree, 270 degree, and that's math error. So that shows that it is also undefined. Now lastly, I'm going to do tan 360 degree. So tan 360 degree, that's 0. Yes. So now after you get this value, okay, now because we are sketching, that's why I'm doing this. Okay, now at 90 degree is undefined, so which means this line here, okay, must be an asymptote. That's called an asymptote. Now the reason is because the tan 90 has no value, is undefined, so which means it does not touch that line. Okay, so this is called an asymptote. So also this same line 270 gave me undefined, so 270 is another asymptote, because the tangent graph is not going to touch those line. Now let's now sketch, because we are asked to sketch, right? So now tan 90 is 0, so which means you just mark your point here. You mark 0, right? Then so now your graph is ascending, okay, because the value of infinity is so large. So your graph is basically like is ascending upward, as is increasing towards infinity. Actually, see, because the infinity is so large, so it's ascending upward, right? Like that. Now you can see that this graph does not touch this line because it's an asymptote, right? Now the okay, now for tan 180 is 0, so which means, so I'm gonna mark the point at 180 0. Now what happens is that my graph is coming back from negative infinity, so it is now coming up like this. So it passes through this 0. Then now at 270 is also undefined, right? Then from here now it is not like increasing again towards infinity one more time. You get like this. Now tan 360 is 0, so mark the point like this. So same thing happen here. My tangent graph is coming back from negative infinity. It passes through that point, so you stop there. Okay, so this is the tangent graph. All right, now mind you, this is just one graph, one curve, just that it is broken. Okay, it is discontinuous at this point at 90 and 270, but basically this is just one graph actually. All right, now we want to solve this equation. So I have, it says solve the equation. I have 5 tan what? 5 tan x is equal to negative what? 7. So now divide both sides by 5. Divide both sides by 5, please. So 5 cancel out 5. So I have that tan what? Tan x is equal to, this is negative 1.4, right? Now if I take the inverse tan of negative 1.4, I'm going to get a negative answer, right? So I have shift inverse tan of negative 1.4. So what I have there is negative 54.46. So negative 54.46 degree, right? All right, so now you can see that now for IGCSE the range is between 0 degree, right, to what? 360 degree, right? Now but my answer I got here is negative, so this is outside the range. This is outside the required range, right? So now what am I going to do? Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use this tangent graph I have plotted. Now let's look for negative 1.4. Now on the graph you have to like mark a point here, okay, in your negative part. This is negative 1.4, right? Now draw a horizontal line, okay, a straight horizontal line, please, like this. Now the number of times this line intersect or cut the curve is the number of solutions you are going to get in that range. So which means it cut it twice, so I'm getting two angles, right? So this is the first angle here. Now you trace that to your x-axis. So my first answer is going to be here. This is my first answer. Then my second answer is going to be here, just like so. So now those are my answers. Then now, how do I get the value of those two answers? Then now the idea is that if now anytime your angle is negative, okay, what you do is that you are going to add 360 to it, okay, that makes it a positive, okay. So which means basically I'm doing negative 54, all right, 0.46. Now I am adding 360 degrees to it, okay, because that is a full circle. So that makes it a positive angle. So you do 360 minus 54.46. So what I have there is 305.54, right? So 305.54 degree. Now this value here is basically what you are seeing here. So this is 305.54. That's the angle right here, right? Now what is the value, what is the size of this gap? This gap over here. Now that is a gap. Now what is the size of that gap? So now that gap is going to be 360 minus 305.54, right? So now the value of that gap is 54.56, okay? 54.46, sorry, 0.46. Now this is the value of this gap right here. So 54.46, right? Then now because of the symmetry of the tangent graph, so now this gap must be the same as this gap here, all right? So those gaps must be the same, symmetry of the tangent graph. So that means this gap here is 54, right? Point what? 46. So now for that reason, that means this angle right here, this angle right here is less than 180, right? Now for me to get this angle right here, I'm going to do 180 degree minus 54.46, right? Yes. The reason is because this angle here, as you can see, is coming before 180. It's less than it. That's why I subtracted this 54.46 from 180, right? So I have 180 minus 54.46. So what I have there is 125.54. So that means the angle here, okay, is 125.54, yes, 0.54. So and that is the answer. That's the answer. So which means the value of my x is 305.54 degree or 125.54, okay, or 125.54 degrees. So these are the two answers needed, right? Now how do I confirm if that's correct? So now what you can do to confirm, let's just divide. Now divide tan 305.54. If I divide that by tan 125.54, now this should be very close to 1 or 1. Perfect, it's 1. So now if I divide the tan this over tan this, I should get 1. So that's a way to confirm that the tangent of this one are the same. All right. So and that ends that question, right? Now for the last question I have here, number 7. So this is on similar shapes, similar triangles. Now we are given the corresponding length. Okay. So now the first thing I'm going to get here is what we call the linear scale factor. So you are going to divide the bigger length, which is 12 cm, by the smaller length, 3 cm, right? And so this is just 4, right? This is 4. Now 4 is the linear scale factor. So that is the ratio of the corresponding length, right? 4. Now what I'm going to do next is to get the area scale factor. Now the area scale factor is gotten by squaring the linear scale factor. I will do 4 all squared, and that's 16. Now this 16 is the ratio of the corresponding areas. Okay, actually, now we are looking for the area of the larger triangle. So I'm going to multiply. Right? So which means now the area of U is now, I'll multiply the area scale factor 16 by the area of the smaller triangle, which is 5. 16 times 5 cm squared. And the answer is going to be, this is 80 centimeter squared. Okay. So, and that ends the practice. So if this video really helped you, okay, please subscribe, share, and comment and like the video. Please share it to your friends that are preparing for the Cambridge IGCSE exam. Okay, so see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.